You are being called to live in peace, on purpose, with passion and prosperity. But you can't do that if you haven't unlearned the crap. The crap that is disempowering you. The crap of conditioned responses and automatic programming. And that's what we're here to do. So that you can level up because you know your soul is calling. Welcome to Unlearn the Crap and Level Up TV with your host, Kathy Baldwin. Welcome to Unlearn the Crap and Level Up Your Soul is Calling. My name is Kathy Baldwin and I am your host. Today's episode, we are going to be doing a Kathy Unplugged segment because today is Tuesday. This is where I am unplugged and just speak freely so you have an idea of what's going on in my world, what I'm thinking, feeling, experiencing, and we get to know each other a little bit better. So I am Canadian, for those of you who don't know. And at the time of this recording, we are preparing for our election. And there are a lot of people who have a large vested interest in what happens here in Canada, and myself included. I always say that saying that if you want, I believe in the quote by Gandhi. I believe in the quote from Gandhi, be the change you want to see. And as you know, my Unlearn the Crap and Level Up is about empowerment. It is about seizing your voice and bringing your passion, your purpose into the world. And so I have volunteered to go out canvassing for the candidate I believe in. Probably not a big surprise, but I am a major Mark Carney fan. And the reason I'm a major Mark Carney fan is not only because of all the chaos that's going out in the world, but I believe that it is time that we come together in cooperation and collaboration. I don't believe in isolating and segregating anybody from anything. I believe we are a global community. And when we come together and share our resources so that everybody can win, and we remove the power from the 1% and bring it into the 99%, that requires that us in the 99% who don't hold the power of control of the money and the resources, that we seize that back. And that comes from our individual empowerment. It comes from our individual responsibility, and it comes from our seizing our right for our voices and our contributions. There is a place in this world where we all win. So the other day I was out canvassing with my local riding candidate, and I got to experience what is happening out in my community. There are a lot of people who believe things very, very strongly. I met an immigrant from China who is now a Canadian citizen. And he had one of the strongest opinions that I heard through the whole campaigning that I was on the other day. He was saying how important it was that we not kowtow to other governments' agendas, but instead do what is right for us and hold our stance of empowerment, but do it through collaboration and cooperation. He believed in the Canadian ideal that we are a democracy, but we are also very unique in all of our different nationalities, in all our different belief systems, in all the ways that we are diverse and inclusive. We believe that everybody has the right to believe what they want, to live the way they want, to love who they want, and to bring that joy of passion, of personal alignment. That ideal goes so along with my unlearn the crap and level up ideal, that we are healthy and strong when we are individually empowered and aligned. That is when our health and our wealth and our relationships are aligned. It is when our head, our heart, and our gut are aligned. It is when we are authentic and living who we truly are. And so this experience of going out canvassing and seeing how some people were apathetic and complacent, and others who were a little hostile, the Canadian hostile way, which was passive aggressive. Other people who were very secretive. Yes, I have chosen my candidate, but I'm not going to tell you who that is. As if there would be negative ramifications for sharing that information. It was an amazing experience to not only be out there campaigning in public instead of just here on my podcast and in my books and everywhere I speak, but out in public asking people, will you stand up for what you believe in? Will you commit to voting your conscience, whatever that is? We have a responsibility to be involved. We have a responsibility to make sure that our voice is heard. We have a responsibility to stand up to tyranny. We have a responsibility to become the best versions of ourselves. And so while Canada's going through this election and the world is going through so much chaos, this is the time that we must level up and bring our best to the world. Somebody made a comparison of Mark Carney to one of my favorite TV show personalities, which was Jed Bartlett from The West Wing. I absolutely loved how he wasn't political. He was an economist. I loved how he believed in family and doing what was right and not necessarily what was easy. And I see Mark Carney as that ideal. And I see so many different countries becoming united together as well as with Canada. I am fearful of what is going to happen to the American citizens when they isolate and when they disconnect from the rest of the world. I'm fearful of the anger and the hate that I see happening. I'm fearful of the judgment that is so rampant and how hate has become normalized. I long for the days of intelligent conversations where we do what is best for all. My mission statement is a 4X win, a win for me, because it's about time we put ourselves first, not at the expense of others, but as the first priority. The second priority is you, whoever it is that I am engaging with. The third win is for our companies, our clients, our communities, our families, that small group that we are connected with. And the fourth and most important win in my 4X philosophy is that it must be a win for the collective good. I believe that that is the paradigm shift that we are coming to. I believe that that is what's happening, that the patriarchy is breaking down. I believe that hatred and greed is all coming to the surface so that we can see it. It's not easy what we're going through, but it is necessary. I have a question for you. Are you standing up for what is important to you? Are you part of the solution? Do you believe that there is no place of judgment in how somebody else is personally aligned with themselves? And that it is none of your business or our business how anyone else chooses to live if it does not affect us. I believe with every ounce of my being that when we are individually aligned with our own zone of genius and we're bringing our gifts to the world, that there cannot be a place for hate and greed and war. Because when we all have everything we need and we are aligned, we don't need to worry about what anyone else has or more than us. We don't need to worry about trying to control others' thoughts or feelings or beliefs. We're just living our best lives. That's where I believe we're going to. And so my experience the other day of canvassing was hopeful in some ways, a little nerve-wracking in others, but the change is so evident. We are moving in a new direction. We just need to make sure that we're part of steering the ship. Until next time, this has been Kathy Unplugged. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Unlearning Curve. I hope you enjoyed it. If something landed for you today, make sure to follow, like, comment, and share, and check out all the other full interviews and other episodes of Unlearn the Crap and Level Up podcast, where you'll find deeper conversations, expert guests, and real stories from people just like you who are unlearning their crap and choosing clarity. Visit me at kathybaldwin.me and get all my free resources. Check out my coaching programs as well as my books. Until next time, keep showing up, keep unlearning, and keep leveling up because your soul is calling.